This is not a game of hockey, but magic. Dhyan Chand is in fact the magician of hockey. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Mamata Lawrence, working as a physical education teacher in Kendriya Vidyalaya, Island Grounds, Chennai. The legend was born today. He is none other than Major Dhyan Chand, the world famous magician of hockey. Today the nation celebrates in his remembrance as National Sports Day. Come, let us know about his life story. Summer Olympics 1936. Hosted by Hitler, ruled by Germany. India sent their two Olympic champion team, leading by newly made captain Major Dhyan Chand. Upon the selection of the squad, the final team assembled at Delhi and played a match against Delhi 11 and lost the match. After reaching Berlin in a practice match against Germany, they lost again by 4-1. As soon as the tournament started, Dhyan Chand's stick started to speak. India won all the group stage matches, beating Hungary, USA and Japan comprehensively. The team started drawing the crowds from other venues to the hockey field for their performance. A leading German newspaper carried a banner headline, "The Olympic complex now has magic shows too." There were posters all over Berlin praising the new Olympic hero. Visit the hockey stadium to watch the Indian magician Dhyan Chand in action. After crossing France 10-0 in the semi-finals, they came face to face with the host Germany. On the morning of the finals, the entire team was nervous. Since they had been defeated the last time they had faced Germany, at the half-time, India was hanging on to one goal lead. This could have reversed in the matter of seconds. At the break time, they sprinkled excessive water on the field to make the Indian players wearing cheap shoes slow. Chand decided to remove his shoes and play barefoot. The Germans were playing a really physical match and Chand was marked very tightly. In a rough tackle, he lost his tooth. Returning to the field after medical attention, he told the players to teach a lesson to the Germans by not allowing them to score. The Indians repeatedly took the ball to the German circle only to backpedal. The Indian made the match one-sided and won it by 8-1. Chand scored a hat-trick. Adolf Hitler, who was present in the ground, left midway as he could not bear to see his team being demolished. Later, he expressed his desire to meet Dhyan Chand. On meeting him, Hitler offered to elevate Lance Naik Chand to the rank of the colonel in the German army and to play for Germany. Of course, Dhyan Chand refused him, saying he is fine here in India. His love and loyalty for the nation was incomparable, but the nation did not love him as much as he deserved. In the later part of his life, he went short of money and he was totally ignored by his countrymen. He once went to a tournament in Ahmedabad and they returned him away by not knowing who he was. He died of liver cancer in a general ward at the AIIMS New Delhi. The new generation don't even know the first sports hero of India. This is a small tribute to Major Dhyan Chand in effort to spread his legacy among all of us. Dhyan Singh was born on 29 August 1905 in Allahabad in Rajput family. He was the elder brother of another hockey player, Rup Singh, and the son of Sarada Singh and Sameshwar Singh. Dhyan Chand's father was enlisted in the British Indian Army and he played hockey for the army. Dhyan Chand had two brothers, Bul Singh and Rup Singh. Because of his father's numerous army transfers, the family had to move to different cities and such Chand had to terminate his education after only 6 years of schooling. The family finally settled in Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh, India. Dhyan Chand graduated from Victoria College, Gwalior in 1932. Being in the military, his father got a small piece of land for a house. Young Chand had no serious inclination towards sports, though he loved wrestling. He stated that He did not remember whether he played any hockey, worth mentioning, before he joined the army, though he said that he occasionally indulged in casual game in Jhansi with his friends. The Hindi word Chand literally means moon. Since dancing used to practice a lot during the night after his duty hours, he used to wait for the moon to come out so that the visibility in the field improved. He was hence called Chand by his fellow players, as his practice sessions at night invariably coincided with the coming out of the moon. 29th August 1922, his 17th birthday, Chand enlisted in the 1st Brahmins of the British Indian Army as a sepoy. A reorganization of the army that year resulted in the 1st Brahmins becoming the 1st Punjab Regiment. Between 1922 and 1926, Chand exclusively played army hockey tournaments and regimental games. Chand was ultimately selected for the Indian Army team, which was to New Zealand. The team won 18 matches, drew 2 and lost only 1, receiving praise from all the spectators. Following this, in the 2 test matches against the New Zealand squad, the team won the first and narrowly lost the second. Returning to India, Chand was promoted to Lance Naik in 1927 after successfully lobbying for reintroducing field hockey in the Olympics. The newly formed Indian Hockey Federation made preparation to send its best possible team for the 1928 Amsterdam Olympics. In 1925, an inter-provincial tournament was held to select the team members. 5 teams participated in the inaugural nationals: United Provinces, Punjab, Bengal, Rajputana and Central Provinces. Chand got permission from the army to play for the United Provinces team. In its first game in the tournament, Dhan Chand as the centre forward and Martins, their inside right, performed very well together. Chand got attracted to his attention by his clever stick work. His penetrating runs and judicious passes seemed to be assured for him a position in the team, that is to take part in the Olympic Games. Early in the game, it became evident that Chand was at his best. The combination with Martins, he took the ball away to the right and Martins did well to give him a good pass. Quick as lightning, Dhan Chand shot a goal. The ball struck one of the defender's sticks and went into the net, giving goalkeeper Kohli no chance. A goal within 3 minutes of the start was more than what the most optimistic of the UP supporters could expect. At the interval, UP led by 3 goals to nil. On their part, Rajputana put every ounce of their efforts to score. The UP goals had more than one narrow escape, but were the winner of the fine exhibition match 3-1. Buoyed by the success of the tournament, it was decided that it would be held every 2 years. After 2 more trial matches between various hopefuls, the Olympic team, including Chand as centre forward, was announced and assembled in Bombay. Centre half Broom Eric Penigar was selected as a captain. The IHF was initially low on funds since the provinces of Bombay, Madras and Burma had turned a deaf ear to their financial appeal, but they managed to escape enough money. The Olympic team then played a match against the Bombay 11 and amazingly lost 3-2, even though Singh scored both his team's goals. Send-off, the team left for England on 10th March to play 11 matches against local sides as well as in the London Folkestone Festival in 1927. Winning all, it was also said that Great Britain did not send a team in 1928 to the Amsterdam Olympics after their national team was defeated by the Indian team at Folkestones. This is the best cited in Kapoor's book Romance of Hockey, where a dispatch of H. Sutherland Stark, London representative of sports, a magazine of Lahore, tells the story better than any other comment. For reasons it is difficult to understand, the English Hockey Association have taken off a very stiff attitude towards Indian hockey in recent years and have repeatedly been tweeted about it by even their own supporters. The editor of leading sports newspaper described them to me as an intensely conservative body. But there seems to be something more than conservative behind their unwillingness, apparently ever to meet Indian in a full international encounter. Finally, on 24th April, the team arrived in Amsterdam to embark on a tour of the Low Countries. In all the pre-Olympic matches against local Dutch, German and Belgian teams, the Indian team won by large margins. In the 1928 Amsterdam Summer Olympics, the Indian team was put in the Division A table with Austria, Belgium, Denmark and Switzerland. On 17th May, the Indian national hockey team made its Olympic debut against Austria, winning 6-0 with Chand scoring 3 goals. The next day, India defeated Belgium 9-0. However, Chand only scored once. On 20th May, Denmark lost to India 5-0 with Chand netting 3. 2 days later, he scores 4 goals when India defeated Switzerland 6-0 in the semi-final. The final match took place on 26th May with India facing the home team of the Netherlands. The Indian team's better players Feroz Khan, Ali Sokat and Kher Singh were on the 6th list and Chand himself was ill. However, even with a skeletal side, India managed to defeat the hosts 3-0 with Singh scoring 2, and the Indian team won its country's first Olympic gold medal. Chand was the top scorer of the tournament with 14 goals in 5 matches. A newspaper report about India's triumph said, "This is not a game of hockey but magic. Dhyan Chand is, in fact, the magician of hockey." On returning to India, the team was received by thousands of people at the Bombay harbour compared to the 3 people who had sent them off. The team kept their winning tempo going. The India team set sail for San Francisco on 30th May and arrived on 6th July. They reached Los Angeles 3 weeks before the opening ceremony of the Olympics, which took place on 30th July. On 4th August 1932, India played its first match against Japan and won 11-1. Chand, Rup Singh, Gurmeet Singh each scored thrice and Dicky Carr once. In the final on 11th August, India played against host USA. A newspaper report about India's trump said, India won 24-1, a world record at that time, until it was broken in 2003 and once again clinched the gold medal. Chand scored 8 times, Rup Singh 10, Gurmeet Singh 5 and Pinigar once. In fact, Chand along with his brother Rup scored 25 out of the 35 goals scored by India. This led to them being dubbed the Hockey Twins. In India, he is often referred to as Hockey Ka Jadugar, which translates to magician of the game of hockey. After the Olympics, they made an international tour, played many matches in very little time, basically to pay their expenses. At the end of the tour, India had played 37 matches, winning 34, drawing 2, with 1 abandoned. Chand scored 133 of the 338 Indian goals. In December 1934, they again made an international tour to New Zealand, Ceylon and Australia. Dhyan Chand was appointed as captain this time. They played a total of 48 matches and won all of them out of 584 goals. Chand himself scored 201 in his 43 appearances. Now the greatest field hockey player had proved himself as a captain as well. In this situation, he went to Berlin Olympics in 1936 and defended this Olympic title like a typhoon out of the east. The whole world was in spell of the magician of hockey, who again became the top scorer of the Olympic. Later he was promoted to lieutenant in Indian Army. After India's independence, he played a series of matches in 1947 as requested by Asian Sports Association. Though he was in his 40s, then he still managed to score 61 goals in 22 matches. His legacy continued until he decided to phase out his involvement in serious hockey in 1948. In 1956, at the age of 51, he retired from the army with rank major. The government of India honored him the same year by giving the Padma Bhushan, India's third highest civilian honor. His birthday, 29th August, is celebrated as National Sports Day in India. India's highest award for lifetime achievement in sports is the Dhyan Chand Award, which has been awarded annually from 2002 to sporting who not only contributed through their performance but also contributed to the sport after their retirement. The National Stadium, Delhi, was renamed Dhyan Chand National Stadium in 2002 in his honor. In his 22 years of career, he scored over 400 international goals. Once while playing a hockey game, he was not able to score a goal against the opposition team. After several misses, he argued with the match referee regarding the measurement of the goal post, and amazingly, it was found that the post was not equal to the official width of a goal post under international rules. You can understand how big a sportsman he was. Australian cricket legend Don Bradman was a great fan of Dhyan Chand. After watching him in action, Bradman remarked, "He scores goals like runs in cricket." But even after achieving so much, he was such a down-to-earth person. He used to address a Western Cup match between Jhansi Heroes and Calcutta Customs Club as the best match he ever played. He used to love watching Hindi movies. Whenever he would get time, he used to go out with his friends in the evening. He used to love cooking too. His favorite dish was rabri, a milk sweet. As said by one of his sons, Ashok Kumar Singh, who himself was a hockey player, he always used to teach his children not to leave anything unfinished. But in the later part of his life, he had many health issues. He felt sad, perhaps bitter, about the way his countrymen, the government and Hockey Federation treated him. 2 months before he died, Dhyan Chand made remark that indicated his state of mind. "When I die, the world will cry, but India's people will not say it. A tear for me, I know them." His friends advised him to come to the West for his medical treatment, but he did not go. Even in his last days, Dhyan Chand could not help talking about hockey. He reminded his family to take care of his medals and make sure no one came to his room and stole them. He died on December 3rd, 1979. After his death, government made many arrangements and many people came to see him. If they had done all this some months ago, he would have died a happy man. In 2011, when sports was included among the categories eligible for Bharat Ratna, Dhyan Chand deserved it before anyone else. But even after many appeals and rallies all over India, the Bharat Ratna award was given to the cricket god Sachin Tendulkar over Dhyan Chand in 2014. His family gave up appealing for it because they believe that Major Dhyan Chand is no way second to any sportsman in India. A statue of Dhyan Chand in action was installed at Jhansi Heroes ground. The words written under it, "National Pride Hockey Wizard Major Dhyan Chand," is Indian hockey's tribute to the greatest player of the game.